This is episode 18 of Give Me a Chance, and it is your host who's speaking, Vittoria. Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Give Me a Chance. You know what is one of the most striking things about all the interviews we've listened to so far? That is that change is possible and it's a constant anywhere in the world, no matter where you are. As a fact, for the episode of today, we virtually fly to Manila to listen to Kimi's story. Kimi got the chance to change her life after she became the first life coach in the Philippines a few years ago, and she never let go since. Time has come to listen to Kimi's story. Hi Kimi, and welcome to Give Me a Chance. Where are you at the moment?
I am in the Philippines.
So you're really close to midnight over there, right?
It is 11:05 p.m. right now.
Wow. All right, so I'm talking to you. You're in the future. That's great.
I am. Apparently, it's still okay in the future.
And how is it going with your projects? How is it going with your coaching?
Well, it's pretty busy, but this week I'm actually going on vacation after one whole year.
Oh, lucky you. Where are you going to?
I am going to like a holistic resort nearby our home, and it's just going to be me. And I am excited to have a massage.
Yeah, I can totally feel it. Oh, and time for yourself to charge up. Because from what I heard, we were talking before, you have global aspirations for your coaching business, right?
Well, it's going very well because you are listening to me, everyone who's listening right now. I mean, I'm sure most of you are not from the Philippines. So, hello, I am Kimi Lu, life coach, your global life and leadership coach from the Philippines. And now I'm here.
You are now a life coach. And have you always been interested in people and helping people?
I think I have always been interested in people, but I didn't know what exactly. I looked into human resources like HR work and maybe PR project and public relations and also teaching. I taught, children. So it was all about people, but I didn't know to what extent I could work with people. So here I am now, really working with people, helping them celebrate their lives, helping them become the best versions of themselves.
But what about yourself? Indeed, you come from the Philippines. In what kind of environment did you grow up, and what did you do in the first stages of your life before becoming a life coach?
So before that, I was lost. One day in the office, I was working, and then all of a sudden, I was crying, and I can't understand. I couldn't understand why tears were falling from my eyes because in that job, it was a really nice like location. The people I was working with were nice.
What
Even
kind
like
of job?
clients.
Yeah,
It was a
was it?
hotel, condo hotel. So I was project manager, and I was talking to unit owners to place their units into the pool so that it can earn money. So I did my job very well, but I was still crying. I can't understand. And then at night, like, at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I would start crying, and I really couldn't understand like what was happening to me. So I tried to look for somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
So the history would be that my parents are actually marriage counselors. So I saw them talking to people, talking to married couples, helping them out. So felt like I needed somebody else who could tell me what I could do or what was happening to me, or to explain like what's this? Even just putting a label to it. Is it like quarter life crisis? Was it like a career crisis? I have no
Yeah.
idea. To today. But so I searched on online. I didn't find anyone.
Any at all?
So I said, oh, and any zero, no life coach. Period. There were psychologists
Yeah.
and psychiatrists, but there was no life coach. Like seriously, I looked it up. So there was nobody. And I'm sure there were, but maybe they didn't advertise well. So I thought there should be one because I'm not the only one who will feel this. I'm sure. Like it's impossible I'm the only one who's feeling this way. There will be somebody someday who will feel the same way I'm feeling right now. And when they search for someone and they don't find anyone, what if, they do something to themselves or they become really lost?
Yeah.
There has to be somebody. Maybe it could be me. I didn't know how to become one, but I looked and looked and looked. I was really searching and I found a course and I had to go to San Diego, California to get certified and to
Mm-hmm.
learn all of the skills that I know now. And continuously through the years, I've been learning and learning and learning. And here I am now after 11 years. And people would find me on the internet.
And Kimi, how did you know that you need going this path? Because it was quite a new path, I can imagine, going into the unknown. But how did you know that this was the chance you had to change your life?
When I was in San Diego, yeah, and I was in class, I remember I was there and I talked to myself and I said, I need to do this work because I was placed here. So I believe in God. So I believe that He placed me there in that class, in that certification program. And I look around, there's only like 12 of us there. There's no other Filipino in class. So I was thinking, there must be a reason why I am here right now. So when I go back to the Philippines, I will be the one who will help them with everything that I learned in this class. Because who else will do it? There's nobody else in this class. Nobody was, blessed to be there at that time. I mean, for sure, right now, there's a lot of other classes in many other places, online as well. But at that time, I was there. And if I didn't push through with it, who else? Who else would? So I feel like I really carved out a path for, life coaches or any kind of coach really to pursue that road as well. It's the road less traveled.
And indeed, how were the first years? What was the most important thing you learned in the first years that you were setting that up?
There's a lot of challenges. First of all, I was much younger than 11 years ago. So and people didn't know what a life coach was, so I would tell them, oh, I'm a life coach. They'll give me a blank face, like, well, I just had to explain, like, okay, if you're not happy, then I'll teach you how to become happier. If you're sad, then well, I'll teach you to become more grateful. When you are lost, then we'll find you a way somehow. So I had to explain, and then they look at me again. Huh? How can you help them? You're so young. Like, oh, I studied, these are the tools, and then like it's not really the age, etc. And then they look at me again. Okay, but you studied elsewhere. You studied in the United States. So that means the tools that you learned would be for Americans and not Filipinos.
Did people think that there were two kind of worlds or two ways to approach things?
Um, I think it's really just not believing in this kind of work that I was doing. So they tried to look for like loopholes
Hmm.
so that, they validate themselves that it's like a weird job. And I know, like, some people I really, and when I meet someone and I know when they actually truly believe in what I do, like I can sense that, oh, they're believing in me. But there are some who would agree, but I know deep inside they're like, she's crazy. Like, is she going to, succeed in this work? All of those faces, they're like, in my mind, one day I'm going to prove you wrong. I promise you. Like, one day I am going to be needed. Yeah.
Everybody has such
And
a moment in their lives in which you get really stuck. And
mm,
indeed, you were saying it yourself. And Kimi, what kind of tips can you give to people that feel stuck, possibly?
I love the word for that would be try. You're gonna need to try. If you're just stuck and you're not doing anything about it, then you'll stay stuck. But when you're stuck and you're going to try to, what if I do this? Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. Okay? But you are one step closer to that thing that maybe you're supposed to do when you try.
So basically, it's just not being afraid and giving yourself in and you to find something else. I mean, I can imagine it can be really difficult if you are feeling a little bit insecure. You are looking at a greater perspective. You are trying to broaden your coaching world and reach a global audience. But if we talk about the granular stuff, what was the
Mm.
one small action that gave you the most impact in your life?
One thing that I really did for myself to make sure that, okay, this is really the path that I'm choosing, I printed out, I had my business card printed out.
Mm-hmm.
In that card, it says Kimi Lu, life coach. So it's like, oh, I'm really doing this and I'm going to give it away. So people will now know that I'm really a life coach, and they'll start asking questions, but I'm going to tell them, I'm going to answer them. And that, small, I guess, like business decision or small branding decision made a really huge impact in my life because number one, it makes it more true. Like, okay, this is really happening. Number two, of course, you're letting people know what you're doing so that in case they need you, then they know that it's you that they need to get in touch with. So there's that little thing, and probably people don't answer this, um, answer it this way, but that would be actually my answer. Like, I'm so thankful, and since then, I would actually tell other people to do the same. But right now, since we're in the digital age, I would tell them create your Instagram account already, create your website already, create your Facebook page already, have a group already because it makes it more real.
That gave you the accountability to keep on going. That was the time right now,
Yeah.
right there. And Kimi,
Yes.
thank you so much for being with me and telling me so much about your life and your chance in your life to change your life and become a life coach. It's been really great to listen to that.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here to be able to share that little thing that made me keep going.
This was Kimi's story. After realizing she was stuck, Kimi decided to look for help and noticed that life coaching was not an option in the Philippines a few years ago. That gave her the chance to become a pioneer in life coaching in her own country. Kimi became a certified coach with a global reach, and she now helps people to bring their lives back on track. This was the end of this episode. Have you ever had the chance to change your life, or do you know anybody who has? Please get in touch with us and leave a comment here below. And if you have enjoyed this episode, do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And see you next time. Give me a chance on your screen and in your ears.